Hello, book lovers and storytellers. Welcome to Reader's Magnet featured author interview. Today, we are going to have the second set of Myrna Victor's interview, wherein she'll definitely talk and lead us to her debut book, The Fox Family. Hi, Myrna. Welcome to the show again.
Thank you very much.
Yes, from the previous session, we talked about your second book, The Squirrel Family. Now let's have your readers engaged to another fun and adventurous story of yours, The Fox Family. Can you show us a copy of the book, please?
I can.
There you have it, guys. Parents and children will love the story of the Fox family. And for sure, Myrna has a backup story as to why she published this book. Go ahead, Myrna, take it away.
Hi. Well, I was in my backyard and I was
Mm-hmm.
reading. And we have a little strip of woods. I live in a suburb, but there's maybe 40 feet wide with tall trees. And we see little animals at different times, which has always intrigued me. But I
Mm-hmm.
was reading, and all of a sudden I looked out, and there was a red fox sitting about maybe 40 feet from me. And I really hadn't seen a red fox up close like that.
Oh.
And yeah, and then as I looked up, it started, I didn't know if it was a he or she, but it started to take a few steps towards me and then sit down again. So I started to read, and then it came a little bit closer, and I got to see it more closely, and it was quite relaxed. And I was trying to figure
Mm-hmm.
what was this about. And then I had to go into my house to finish a couple of things. So I said to it, see you in a little while. And I
Right.
went in my no, but there was something about it that was so charming. And I've always loved dogs, and I've had them growing up. Well, I was in my house, and my house is on a little bit of a hill, so I can look out a basement window and see my entire backyard in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I was folding something, and I looked out, and there was the red fox staring at me. So I
Oh.
waved. I was shocked, and I waved, and then he or she walked away. And I thought that's interesting, and I looked out, and it was just casually walking and sitting. I
Mm-hmm.
started to leave um, the area. I went out to my driveway, and the red fox was sitting on my driveway. And when it saw me, it ran to the back and started to circle the house again. So I left, and I came back maybe an hour or two later. Didn't see it anywhere. About a month later, I looked out, and the fox, when it was circling my house, was looking in
Uh-huh.
windows and stopping, and I thought, gosh, um, really, really examining everything. Anyway, about a month later, I looked out, and there were two adult red foxes, and in between there were four little foxes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took a deep breath because it was really precious. These little ones were little, and the parents were clearly, I didn't know who, there was one in the front and one in the back. And there was a sense of pride about their walking.
Right.
And that's what I took a look, and I thought, you know what? This is really wonderful. And I decided to write a book about it. And that's how the Fox family came to be.
Wow, that is what quite a fascinating story. Apart from you being curious about as to why they're in your place, why are they examining and looking around. I think that the gesture in there is pretty much you appreciating them, checking on you and being curious about things in your house and especially with their surroundings, Myrna.
Oh, yeah. It has to be difficult for them because they have a stretch of woods, but there's a beginning and an end to it.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
I
some
mentioned, sorry.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Well, no, I mentioned it to a couple of my neighbors
Mm-hmm.
that had little children. And frankly, two of them have dogs, and I didn't know how that would go. But I knew the children would love to see the little family if they could. And so people started to, take a look and see if they could see it. And then I never saw it again. And I
Right,
was very
right.
disappointed. I tried to find them walking a couple of times, but I did not see them again. Yeah.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting. Well, so far with the fox and their family being around, one thing is for sure that I can describe fox as as a definition in particular, they are a family, you know, a family close to their families, and they are full of strength once they are with their family or even with their friends. And I think human as we are, we have something in common with the foxes. And so far with the experience of other people, you know, grooming around and having fox as their pet, you know, that's really kind of thrilling and exciting. Usually for people who gets curious with how they live, you know, and their environment too. Yes.
Yes.
So what is in the story, Myrna, that could make your readers get excited for the book?
I think the concept of the parents, particularly one of them, and I obviously I don't know foxes that well that I could pick
Mm-hmm.
one. You know, they looked similar. Um, Looking in my windows with just even the concept, they would that they knew they were going to be parents and what was happening. And
Right.
I had never. This is the piece. This had not happened before. I mean, I've lived here over 30 years, and I've never had. I've had animals run through the woods and different things, but I've never had a personal connection like this in any way. And I felt that the foxes were looking for something from me. And that just intrigued me completely. And to see them at some point, a month after I had first met them,
Uh-huh.
to see four little ones, and I was able to get fairly close. It was amazing. And I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen them since. And I keep wondering where they are. I've asked neighbors and, what
Uh-huh.
happened. So, but it was something about it and the intensity of the adult foxes in examining my house and looking in windows. And I haven't had it since, and I didn't have it before. So it was very striking to me. And
Right.
yeah,
And for sure, Myrna, people out there who seems to be very interested with foxes, for sure they will love your book. Why? Because apart from your experience, there is something in the book that people could relate. You know, you've published books about family and animals, and I think we can translate the moral lesson of the story into having family all together, joining an adventurous experience at the same time. And with that being said, we'd like to teach people and kids out there that you can definitely have a long life ride once you have your family back with you.
yeah.
What are your message for your readers, Mirna?
I'd like them to get a feeling. I think it's very hard. We see animals pass through. I mean, I've had coyotes run through, and
Mm-hmm.
and it can't. But I've never seen it beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
And to go through this as a um, being observed like that, and
Mm-hmm.
feeling in some way I might be responsible for something that comes later, um, and then seeing these all maybe a month later. I don't think it was more than that.
Mm-hmm.
They had to be searching for something. I don't know whether it was a permanent place to live or some food or something,
Right.
but the fact that they came at the back of they were at the edge of the woods, so I had total view of them, and they
Mm-hmm.
seemed very proud, the two adults at the end, and the little ones were just kind of, four little ones were scrambling, and there was a charm to it that I hadn't experienced that way before. And the fact that this was taking place behind my house,
Yeah.
um, it just
It
it touched
amazed you
me.
the most.
Well, it
Yes.
touched me. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. And foxes are beautiful. You know, they're
Yes.
very beautiful.
Very
They
good
have
point.
this exactly. They have these gazing eyes where it's mystical and mysterious, and there's really a lot of things that you may see or you may reflect in a fox. You know, being a family, being with their family, being with their pack, anything that you can think of that would really make the story really a catch for your readers.
Yeah, it wasn't the fox as a dangerous animal, or beware, or watch out, or don't go near. I mean, that's the kind of thing I hear periodically. Watch out, there's a coyote that passed
Uh
through,
huh.
or this sort of thing. And things aren't all the same. And
Exactly.
yeah, and I just I felt it was a gift.
You appreciate the beauty. You
Yeah.
appreciate their beauty.
Well, to
Wow.
see a red fox up close, it's not completely red. It has some white on it and a little bit
Mhm.
of black. near the feet. I could see some of that, but it was calm. It was sitting, and somehow I thought that I'm a human. It would run away or something like that, and I waved. I didn't talk to it, but I
Right.
waved. And
Right.
when I had to go in the house, I did say, and it was not inching. It would come maybe 6 or 8 inches, coming closer and closer to me, and I
Mhm.
wasn't sure. I still don't know what it had in mind, but there was just something very charming about it. And I did watch it through my window a little bit. That's when
Mhm.
I told you I was folding something and I looked out. And then to see it a month later with another
Yeah.
fawn, there was something about that I felt that it was looking for something when it visited me.
Actually, absolutely. Wow.
Mhm.
Thank you very much for sharing that, Mirna. Now, we're done with squirrel family and the fox family. If you could think of any animal to portray with on your third book, what would be it and why?
I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. That's something obviously I've been contemplating, but I
Uh-huh.
wanted to be something that I can personally, in some way, observe. And I've seen, which I had not seen before, two owls,
Mhm.
and I did not know an owl's head can turn 3/4 of the way around. I saw her do it,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
I thought that was there was something about that was quite unique. But I would love if you have some suggestions of animals you'd like to know, possibly.
Well, it's not like a four-legged animal though, but what I really want to see in writing is the story of a butterfly. You know, going through all the stages, the metamorphosis and whatnot. It strange me and it fascinates me. Why? Because human as we are, we go all through that stages, Mirna, and it's just really a matter of transitioning and adapting to things that's not new to you. And I think that's what makes life worth living. You know, being unprepared with all the stages in life and getting through it after a day and another. That is something that you can definitely do in the future, Mirna.
What there's so it's so interesting. What I guess in the bigger picture, that
Mm-hmm.
nature has provided. I don't know last week whether you saw the squirrel one, but when I found out that the squirrel that climbs bark all the time, the back feet can do a 180-degree angle so it can go
Right.
straight down. I was so taken back by that nature has created these creatures, but they also have given them the ability to survive in the way they need to. And it's amazing.
Yeah. Everyone of us in Earth, Mirna, I think we all have that factor what that makes us unique. And sometimes, that's gotta be your strength and ability to adapt to life. And you can really say no to life. You can't really say no to life. And children nowadays really need to learn that, at an early age. Why? Because there's so much in this world they need to focus on and they need to meet on. And authors like you is very gifted to write stories about how you could help them, you know?
Very kind of you. Yes, I hope so.
Yes.
When children are amazing too. I mean, some of the little
Hmm.
questions you get asked are just beautiful. So,
Wow.
yeah.
And I know they're very proud of you. They are very proud of you, Myrna. Writing about your passion and expressing things out in the form of writing, that is something that, you're very proud of yourself, how much more your children. All right. Well, what's your last message for your readers, Myrna? Aside from you meeting them on the upcoming ALA or American Library Association, what are the things
In
that you'd like
DC.
to
Yeah.
tell them? Uh-huh.
No, I'd love to hear their stories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And everyone could relate to it. Everyone could relate to it. The book is not just intended for children, but all stages in life. You can definitely adapt from
Well, thank you.
it.
That's yeah. No, that's intriguing actually. Yeah. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for the butterfly story, Myrna.
Thank you for suggesting. It's wow.
And
Yeah.
maybe you could come up with your own story too, with a form of butterfly. Who knows? Maybe in the future. And that
Yes.
is something that your readers must await from Myrna Victor, guys. All right. Well, I think we're all good, Myrna. Thank you very much for your time. We've done the Squirrel family. We're also done with the Fox family, and those two books will be featured on the upcoming American Library Association in Washington, D.C. this upcoming June 23 to June 28, 22. And Myrna Victor herself will be around to sign books and give her books away from you for your children and for all of your family.
And I look
Myrna,
forward
we're
to that. Thank you. Thank you.
yes, and that is very exciting. Now, Marina, where can we find your book then? The
Uh,
Fox Family.
you can get it online, but it's also at Barn. You can get it through Barnes and Noble and other major stores that carry children's books. Yeah.
Exciting.
Mhm.
Yes, you could definitely check that on Amazon,
Yes.
Barnes and Noble, and any online bookstore. Marina, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you doing this. And with Reader's Magnet, we share your story with the world, Marina. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
It's a pleasure.
Bye.
I've thoroughly enjoyed. Thank